Snap, looking, has time, steps up now, throws, seam pattern, touchdown! Marcus Lucas of Liberty, his second touchdown of the season, and Missouri breaks on top 23-3 on a perfectly thrown ball by young Matty Mock.
I'll tell you what, Mizzou has really got it going, 31-3 the final over Tennessee. Mike Kelly, you got to be having a lot of fun this season.
It is fun. Yeah, it's nice to see good people that work really hard at their jobs have success, particularly after what they went through last year and the amount of scrutiny that they faced in the off season. And it's been a fun year.
Yeah. How did Matty Mock look after rebounding from the week before?
You know what? I think the coaches did a great job with him in this past week, and just working with him in terms of awareness in the pocket, going through progressions, understand that you have to have that clock on in your head when you're facing a pass rush, and knowing that if you got two safeties back and you don't have anybody open, you got to see him in the middle, and he certainly found those on several times. Rushing for more than 100 yards for the first time in his career. So he looked good.
Yeah, it's a great all-around effort. I didn't see any of the game, but 31-3 sounds like it was a drubbing.
Well, Missouri took control, and was opportunistic on the defensive end, had 3 more turnovers, didn't turn the ball over on the offensive side, and kind of systematically just built the lead in the third quarter, and then just, controlled the game at the line of scrimmage and on the ground the rest of the way.
I was talking to a friend yesterday who went to the game. They were still hoarse from the day before. You mentioned some of the crowds this year. It sounds like the Missouri fans have really stepped up to the SEC crowd. I
was really surprised that they didn't call a sellout on Saturday, because it looked full from my vantage point, and I always look to the north end, and the hill was full, and they were too deep on the rail, and I guess I just didn't see some of those upper corners of the stadium, either on the west side or the east side. But more than 65,000 after 2 consecutive sellouts, and now just 1 game to play at home, and that's against Johnny Football the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And by the way, there's still plenty of tickets available for that game, and that's traditionally a game that's slow in terms of ticket sales, but a chance to see the senior class and see the incumbent Heisman Trophy winner.
Well, it's something very special. The Tigers are now 8-1. They're what are they, 9-8 in the country now?
9 in the AP poll, I think, and 8 in the BCS standings. So again, still control your destiny. The key to Missouri season is you went out. You're going to play Alabama for the SEC championship in Atlanta on December the 7th.
That is going to be a great game. Kentucky this week, at Kentucky, then at Ole Miss, and then, as you said, finishing up at Texas A&M. It depends on how you want to look at this, but I as a more objective eyes on this, you really got to hand it to Missouri going through this SEC schedule the second year, showing up 8-1. I don't care the fact that Georgia's a little down or Florida's a little down. I mean, they're 1 or 2 breaks away from being 9-0.
Well, and here's the thing. Gary Pinkel, for the 8th time in his 13 years, has a football team that's won at least 8 games. So that speaks to consistency within the program. And I think you looked at last year, and I'll tell you, I think last year was an anomaly based on the number of injuries that Missouri had and the fact that your quarterback was never healthy throughout the course of the season.
Right.
And so what they've done is now they're healthy, and they're I think showing people that it's a solid football program. And so it's been neat to see what's taken place. Yeah, they could be 9-0. They're not. They didn't finish in the game against South Carolina, but still 3 big games to play. And oh, by the way, you may get James Franklin back at quarterback this week.
Yeah, we'll wait and talk to you about that on Friday. But the other thing about Matty Mock is it isn't like this kid that they pulled off the street. He has skills. He's just never been in that situation, so he is going to sort of rise to the occasion at some point. You figure.
Well, and you look at just look at what he's been thrown into on the road before 93,000 fans at Sanford Stadium in Georgia in a critical situation facing 3rd and 6, and he picks up a first down, leads Missouri to 2 fourth-quarter scoring drives. Then, you come home and you take on the likes of Florida. Very good defense. Yeah, they've had injuries, but still a good defense. And then you take on South Carolina, and then face Tennessee. So it's not like he's seen Northern Iowa or
Right.
or some of these other non-Division I schools, and so it's a deal that he was thrust into a difficult situation. He had his growing pains and will continue to have those. Experience is the best friend of a young quarterback. But he continues to get better, as evidenced by his body of work this week.
Mike Kelly, who's your sponsor?
Walter No Florist. They've been operating in St. Louis since the late 1800s, and they want to be your personal florist. So all you need to do is check them out online at WKF.com. They have all the tools of the big boys, but they have that personal touch and that long-standing reputation right here in St. Louis. So check it out today. Walter No Florist, WKF.com. They want to become your personal florist.
Mike, have a good week. We'll talk to you on Friday.
All right, see you. Bye.
Mike Kelly here, voice of the Tigers. Missouri beats Tennessee 31-3. Missouri takes on Kentucky next week. It's an 11 a.m. start time Saturday, and all that action can be heard right here, Big 550 KT.